Stanley. It's an ambitious pass, but it's got Ellison in the corner, and Castleford are back in business. Sampson. Now here's Mackenzie, and here's Devereux. John Devereux. Is this his first try for Widnes? Yes, it is. Big moment for John Devereux. David Hume. Davis in the line. Oh, what a break. What a player. Marvellous stuff from Jonathan Davis. All the way. That is class.
Desperate times. They've got to get something from this.
It's first down and goal. And they're in.
Well, we're now down live in the Widnes dressing room, and the news is that Jonathan Davis is out. He's struggling with a hamstring injury following the Bradford game in midweek. Still players there, though, to offer a real threat to Castleford. The international trio O'Fire, Tate and Currier provide Widnes with what you might term attractive attacking alternatives. In fairness, the Castleford coach Darrell van der Veld gracefully acknowledged the power of Widnes after their display at Norton Park. Since then, he's been drawing up plans quite literally to ensure it doesn't happen again. He's talking now with Clive Tilsley.
Well, Darrell, this is the board from which you'll deliver your final address to the players. 3 main points. Start strongly. What are you looking for there?
Well, Clive, we've actually been starting, very, very slowly in our games the last the last month or so. So, the first set of 6 tackles is important. We've got to make sure that whether it's attack or defence, that we start very, very positively and strongly.
Once on defence, you've highlighted 1 or 2 things here. Phil Mackenzie running off at play the balls.
Yeah, well, a lot of their players do run off from dummy half, so it's important our 2 markers work and curtail the yardage that they make.
What's a gang tackle?
A gang tackle is there to slow the play down. You've got 2 or 3 players come into the 1 tackle, and it's an intimidation tactic, actually.
Hit on suspicion? That sounds a bit intimidating.
Well, a lot of teams do a lot of wraparounds and decoy runners, so, they're all potential ball carriers, so we've got to take the ball, locate with the ball.
Take the pivot man. Now, on attack, set up field position, work from the middle of the field, rolling rucks, support the ball carrier. Set up field position, the key, yeah?
Yeah, set up, what we want to do is mainly look at probably working to a particular part of the field to set up 2 or 3 plays, our set plays, but our set plays don't win games. It's just something that we work to, and if we've got good field position, we can actually execute them.
Now, your final words to the team will be these, yes?
This will be the final address.
Go on.
It's play the game in lots of 6 tackles, forget the past and don't plan for the future. I'm concerned about the outcome. Well, the outcome will take care of itself as long as every player plays to his potential. So I said, let's forget about winning and losing today. All I want you to do is go out there and give it your best shot and play to your potential.
So you're saying that if Castleford play to their potential, you needn't worry?
Exactly. We'll win the game.
Well, that's positive stuff from Darrell van der Veld. I'm delighted to welcome back the Hull coach, Brian Smith. Brian, in the papers this morning, Ronnie Gibbs, the Australian who's just left Castleford, was actually saying that some of his teammates were work shy, though.
Well, I'm inclined to agree with him, although I think some of his teammates might suggest that he was a little bit the same this time in his trip back to England. But I think that is part of Castleford's problem, and Darrell van der Veld has rightly isolated that and tried to get that in a nutshell by the quotations that he has at the end. He needs them to play on every play, not have rest periods, but be working all throughout the game.
Brian, thanks very much. Well, Darrell van der Veld is a man who really needs to turn things round at Weldon Road, and quickly. 5 successive defeats have persuaded him to shell out nearly £150,000 on the Leeds forward Lee Crooks to provide the missing spark. It's called buying success. Well, Brian, 150,000, it's a lot of money. Is that a good buy for Castleford, Lee Crooks?
Oh, the proof's in the pudding, I guess, and they'll be looking for big things. I think everybody knows that. I think Lee's been disappointed. Lee Crooks has been disappointed himself since his big money move from Hull a few years ago. Lee's proven himself as a top-quality player for Hull, for England, even in Australia. He's a top-quality player, but he's got some ground to make up.
Well, you've picked out a couple of key men for this afternoon's game. Let's begin with Castleford first.
I think one of the key players and an interesting player for us all to look at today is Jeff Hardy. The new signing is an Australian player who I actually know from schoolboy days.
You taught him, I believe.
I was his teacher. I remember the day Jeffrey came to high school. Jeffrey's come via Sheffield to Cass. He's a competent, all-round player, a good quality player.
OK, let's now take a look at Widnes then.
Well, everybody knows about Widnes' speed on the outside and the fact that they can score tries by shifting the ball very wide and going around the outside of you. But this player, Phil McKenzie, is the one player who can open you up right through the middle. He's got lovely footwork, he can pass the ball, and he's got a real smell for a try.
Darryl van der Veld, interestingly enough, singled out Phil McKenzie on his board we saw just before.
And rightly so. I agree with, I mean, we always concentrate on him in our game plans. I think he's a very important part, an underestimated player with Widnes.
Brian, thanks very much for now. Well, there's no Phil Larder today. Phil's away with the Great Britain under-21s in France. Instead, we've got Fred Lindob, the controller of Rugby League referees. Now, Fred will be monitoring a regular rundown of match facts and individual performance. Fred, any key areas you'll be looking for this afternoon?
No, I think it's just looking at... It's going to be an interesting exercise looking at players' errors today instead of refereeing errors.
Fred, thanks very much. We'll be hearing a bit more from you later. Time now, though, to join our match commentator for the afternoon, Clive Tilsley.
Thanks, Rob. Weldon Road, one of the most atmospheric rugby league grounds, very tight and compact. Not the place Widnes would choose to launch their last push for the title. Doug Lawton's choice restricted by the loss of Jonathan Davis, but his former Welsh international teammate John Devereux has recovered from injury. Here is the Widnes team. Devereux will play at 2. They've reshuffled a little bit. Alan Tate's back at 1 and Andy Currier's back in the centre. Devereux on the right wing. Tony Myler passed a fitness test this morning and plays at loose forward, but he actually refuses to wear the number 13 shirt as a matter of superstition. Number 12. Castleford have 4 players away with the Great Britain under-21 team in France. So a couple of the Britain over-21s, Kevin Ward and Kevin Beardmore, return to the front row. There are 5 changes from the side beaten at St Helens last weekend. Last weekend was a trying one for our match referee today, Jerry Kershaw. His handling of the Regal Trophy final drew criticism, but he remains one of the league's most conscientious and experienced officials. A teacher from Easingwold near York. Doug Lawton has spelled out the task facing Widnes in the remaining 11 games of the season. He says they can't afford to lose even one more. They've been beaten 4 times in the championship so far this season. They won it last year with 5 defeats and with 6 defeats the year before that, chasing now a unique championship hat-trick. A face that gives very little away. Widnes in a change strip of red today. They brought a fair smattering of support. There's a real feeling inside Weldon Road, though, on a match afternoon, which you'll sense as the atmosphere builds up during the day. It's a make-or-break time for the championship objectives of these 2 teams. Widnes 6 points adrift of the league leaders Wigan, have no more room for manoeuvre if they're to drive home their bid for the hat-trick. Castleford have their sights on a top 4 place, but are only 4 points clear of the relegation zone at the start of play. Kevin Ward back in the Castleford first team. Would almost certainly have been in the Great Britain Test team had he been fit at the start of the season. And yet he's finished up playing A-team rugby in the last few weeks. Here's Kevin Beardmore, another man looking to prove a point or 2 this afternoon. Penalty given against Tony Myler for holding him down after the tackle. But Beardmore too has had to play some reserve team football recently, as Darryl van der Veld gives the younger brigade a chance at Castleford. Brian Smith's joined me in the commentary position, and Darryl was telling me that he finds it a little bit more difficult to preach his new gospel to the older players in his dressing room. They're not used to it.
Yeah, I guess that's a problem that most coaches face, but I think it comes down more to the character and the quality of the person rather than his age. Some of the best players I've coached and the most coachable are the older ones, I should say. Some of the younger ones have got their heads in the clouds.
Well, here's Kevin Ward and Beardmore together again, and here's John Joyner, the very experienced player who captains Castleford. Lee Crooks dropped the ball. Joyner's covered it, but it went forward. And they're the kind of mistakes that the Australian coach is trying to eliminate from the Castleford game. Jerry Kershaw being very, very definite about the formation of the scrums. A lot of discussion about this set piece in the rugby league game at the moment. Widnes have won it. Alan Tate, the fullback. Myler. It's a miracle that he's played today. He's passed a fitness test this morning on back and neck injuries. Mike O'Neill in the scrum cap. Joe Grimmer. You heard Darryl Van der Velde say that he was looking for his team to produce a good set of 6 tackles the first time that Widnes had the ball, and they did pretty well to hold that opening Widnes drive. There's Van der Velde with his assistant Mick Morgan on his left.
Well, I was just about to say he'll be disappointed after a good defensive effort, and the ball was kicked fairly poorly. That went off a hand into touch. He'd be disappointed. Oh no, that's the touch judge. Don't blame Mr. Kershaw. That player definitely handled the ball. It should have been a Widnes feed.
But Castleford have it. Gary French, older Australian at fullback. Steve Larder. Ian Braga, one of the big money buys from Salford. It's actually his 4th appearance on Rugby League Live this season. 2 with Salford and 2 with Cass. Something to say to Tony Myler. And Braga penalised.
He's a player who tends to attract a lot of penalties one way or the other, Tony Myler. This time it went for him.
Andy Currier with the ball in hands. And he's going for goal. There's the guilty man. Look to it, does he? So Andy Currier, who's lost the goal-kicking job to Jonathan Davis this season, but is a most prolific points gatherer himself. Had a fabulous summer in Australia playing club rugby with Balmain. Really was one of the outstanding players of the Australian season. And he's had a checkered season with Widnes so far. That's a good kick. And Widnes into the lead. And a good goal by Andy Currier. And the ultimate penalty for Castleford's Ian Braga.
Braga might have got a bit off his chest there, but he also got the scoreboard attendant off his backside only 2 or 3 minutes into the game.
So 2 points to nil to Widnes. He'll need a bit more than that to put a smile on his face. David Hume. Widnes comfortably the First Division's leading try scorers last season. Crossed their opponent's line only once in each of their last 2 games. They have been looking to play a tighter game with less errors, but they abandoned that plan in favour of their more familiar, open, off-the-cuff style this week, which is good news for us. Here's Kurt Sorensen. Joe Grimmer. Fumble by McKenzie, but he's able to recover it without the ball going forward. Topping the Widnes tackle count at the moment. McKenzie, nearly 350 already this season. Not bad for a hooker. Darren Wright going on. 5 tackles. And Tate to kick. Trying to get it behind Darren Price, but in on the full.
I think Cass again will be pretty happy with the way they tackled there and got some good pressure on the kicker to force an error. This was the area that let both teams down in the last time on Rugby League Live. Too many defensive misses. Castleford have opened up very well.
They've lost their last 5 matches, don't forget, just as they did at a critical time of last season when they surrendered their long-held title lead. Last weekend's cup defeat at St Helens was their heaviest under Darryl van der Velde. Jerry Kershaw with some help from his touch judge Tony Palmer, penalising Widnes.
That really gets up my nose. Jerry Kershaw was 40 yards closer to that than the touch judge was. Have some confidence, Jerry. See it for yourself.
He did say to me beforehand that he would be instructing his touch judges to help him at every possible juncture. He sees it very much as a 3-man team officiating the game, but his final words were that he wanted the 26 players to provide the entertainment and for the officials to be forgotten. I don't think Widnes will quite have the touch judge out of their minds at this moment in time, as Lee Crooks tries to equalise for Castleford. First goal for Castleford. A few pence of the Hughes transfer fee paid back. Darryl van der Velde monitoring every move with the help of Mick Morgan. Two points each. Rugby League Live from Weldon Road, Castleford. Home team in possession. Darren Price getting his chance because of an ankle injury to David Plange. Beardmore going on, making a half break. Well tackled by Ayres. Larder in the line. Braga. In touch. That cup defeat last weekend really has pulled the rug from under a season of great promise for Castleford. 2 semi-finals, 2 record signings, but no end product as yet.
Even so, I think they've done what Darryl van der Velde's asked of them. They're playing for today and forgotten tomorrow. I think Widnes are in second gear so far.
They were very nearly in top gear then, because for a split second the ball was in the hands of Martin O'Fire, but it spilled out. Here's Keith Beefy England. I wonder where he gets that nickname from. Kevin Ward. Went through Mike O'Neill as if he wasn't there. Fired up the big man. Gary French. Lee Crooks. Well, right back into the hands of O'Neill. And a chance here for Hardy. And he could go all the way on his own. He's got his wing to tap it in. The ball got forward. No try.
Good call there by Mr. Kershaw, and some good football by Cass. They're busier, they're quicker to the loose ball. We saw that ball go to ground, but it was Cass that were there to get the ball and carry the play on. They look more energetic and more vitalised.
Important scrum, won by Widnes. Put up against Kevin Beardmore. It was a Widnes feed, and Beardmore was doing all that he could to take it against the head, but it's becoming more and more difficult in the modern game for the hooker without the advantage to win the ball. Kurt Sorensen. Grimmer.
There's the gang tackle that he wants. And it's the first man in that's low that allows the other players to come over the top and kill the ball.
Paul Hume being forced back by his opposite number, Roy Southernwood. Interesting choice by Castleford today. He's been out of the senior team for some time. David Hume.
There's the brains.
Good kick, making Larder turn back towards his own line. And a good chase too. Nowhere for the fullback to go. Tackle made by Mackenzie, but that was virtually a four-man effort. It was a cul-de-sac. Braga losing possession, picked up by Richie Ayres. Good field position for Widnes. Mackenzie, Brimmer. Slipped out to O'Fire, who was poaching again. His second pass, his second drop. Southernwood and Marler getting a little excited off the ball. O'Fire anything but excited. Been a bit out of sorts recently, but a brief lull in his explosive career. From behind the post, Castleford have the ball. Gary French playing at 6 today. Normally a scrum half, although he has had experience in his native Australia in the stand-up position. Here is the scrum half, Roy Southernwood. Keith England again. Hang on. Well done, Paul Hugh. French. That's a good hit behind O'Fire.
And there's some brains as well.
Little men usually have the biggest brains. I don't know why.
You won't get the argument out of me, Clive, about that.
Jerry Kershaw actually had charge of that Widnes Castleford game that we televised at Norton Park in November. Here's Alan Tay. Good tackle low down by his opposite number, Steve Larder. Here's O'Fire. Mike O'Neill.
This is the intimidation that Vandervelde spoke about. It comes through pressurised defence. They don't like it. Widnes are bustled. They're upset already.
Tate. Taken on the full by Larder. Important tackle for Currier to make. Usually around the scruff of the neck, but effective. Chapman. Hardy. Big man for a centre. He's just as happy with the number 13 on his back, Jeff Hardy. He's a very, very big man, Kevin Ward. It'll need the gang to stop him. Oh, he's lost the ball, though. Far more purpose about Darryl Vandervelde's team today. There's a lot of excitement at St Helens in that cup win last week. Rightly so. They played well, Saints, but Castleford were desperately disappointing. They lack spirit and they lacked organisation. They've got a bit of both today. John Joyner, Lee Crooks, Jeff Hardy. His move from Sheffield didn't actually involve a fee. Woods. And the ball stolen from him by Andy Currier. Keith England seeking retribution. Here's John Devereux. Meaty tackles, big Dean Sampson. Joe Grimmer. Grimmer stunned rather than hurt. Sorensen. Good defensive effort this by Castleford. They're making it very difficult for Widnes.
They've got to keep it up, Clive.
There's Richie Ayres.
No slip-ups. They really need to keep this really pressurised.
Kick by Mackenzie. Larder. Ooh, that's dangerous business. Well tackled by O'Fire. Joe Grimmer. Just getting his head back on his shoulders. It's only his second game since he was rather controversially sent off against Wigan in that Regal Trophy game back on December the 9th. Long time out of the game. There's the man in charge on the field. Here's Joe Grimmer being revived. Long time out of the game. Ken and Deardew together back then, weren't they? An 8-game suspension it was. Price. Keith England. There's Dean Sampson. He's having an outstanding season for Castleford, actually, the big prop forward. Joyner. Crooks. Well taken by David Hume, most dependable tackler. Hardy going on. Ward again. On to Beardmore. The two Great Britain veterans combine, and young Dean Sampson can't hold the pass. But Brian, considering Ward and Beardmore have been out of sorts recently, they've both had outstanding starts to this match.
Yeah, Ward's made a couple of handling errors there where he's let the ball be ripped out of his arms. But he is posing some threat, and Beardmore's busy. And his first up tackles today have been as good as I've seen out of Kevin Beardmore.
Seem to have got a new lease of life in the extra competition in the Castleford squad at the moment. Widnes, who are getting their competitiveness back now in terms of squad strength, with O'Neill and Grimmer back in the fold. Good news of a Mossy Coloto, who's returned to Britain this week and should be back in action within a week or so. Here's Larder. Darren Price. Aggressive, gutsy little winger. Here's Crooks. Almost got Hardy away behind the body of Kurt Sorensen. Let's have a look at the statistics so far with Fred Lindon.
No, you're not on, you don't. Right. Yes, looking at the monitor. Right, looking at the monitor, Castleford are working extremely hard with 59 tackles compared with Widnes' 55 tackles, so indeed both teams are working very hard.
A lot of tackling to be done by Castleford, but they really have gone about their defensive business very well. Here's Martin O'Fire, though, a little bit of space on the outside. He's beaten Price, he's run through French, he's got support from Alan Tate. Terrific break that by O'Fire, it's shaken the whole game up. Touch judge is in play. Widnes, though, within 10 yards of the Castleford line. The Hume brothers combine. Joe Grimmer breaks a tackle. Richie Ayres hangs on, and Tony Myler scores. Ball went forward. No try. Touch judge is on the far side. Tony Myler looking disappointed. But Alan Pickett, the official, has got something to say to Jerry Kershaw as we watch a replay of that.
Mr. Kershaw is extremely well positioned here as he moves across inside the line of the ball. Some nice skills. But Ayres, the ball definitely goes forward there, and a great decision by Mr. Kershaw.
No try. And Ian Braggers didn't bother again. Jerry Kershaw has got a full report from the touch judge, and the Castleford centre, who was presumably involved with Martin O'Fire down that left-hand side, has conceded a penalty.
Has got himself in a bit of a flap there and put his arm up the wrong way. He's finally got it right and given the penalty to Widnes, which makes me wonder, why did the touch judge come on to report a Castleford player when Widnes are about to score a try? Has he heard about the advantage rule?
Mackenzie, Paul Hume, Mike O'Neill. Mackenzie again. Kurt Sorensen. Essential for Widnes that they find their try-scoring touch again. David Hume. As you can see from their view of things, bobbing out well, forcing another error with another big hit.
Great tackle by England there, forcing the error.
Kevin Ward. Rugby League Live from West Yorkshire this afternoon on Granada Television. Widnes and Castleford locked at 2 points each. Both have crossed the line, only to have their scores disallowed. And Doug Lawton puffing away thoughtfully on the prospect of launching a final championship push here on a ground that's been good to Widnes in the last couple of seasons. Again, Jerry Kershaw, the referee, being very meticulous about the formation of the scrum. Hume brothers combining again. Good break by Darren White. Open field. Got Alan Tate and Martin O'Fire in support. Alan Tate, Martin O'Fire. 2 to beat. Support from Andy Currier. Terrific stuff by Widnes. Opening the game out and scoring a memorable try. Currier adding the finishing touches. But Martin O'Fire there, the key man. Good break by Darren Wright. O'Fire's support was terrific. And Andy Currier running in his 8th try of the season. Widnes all over it.
I'd love to see a seasonal count on Widnes tries. I reckon 50% of them must come from scrums, where these people with speed get one-on-one, and they are so quick to follow up in support. There's some great play there, some intelligent support, and O'Fire's pass might not be out of the textbook, but it's effective.
Currier in for the try. It gives Widnes a 6 points to 2 lead. Very little you can do once the initial break has been made, because Widnes have got not only so much speed, Brian, but each of these players has got an appetite for scoring points.
Yeah, they're very alert to get to somewhere where the ball's going to be in a space. And that's a great attribute in any player, in any sport.
Well, Currier scored the try. And Andy Currier now has a chance to improve it. Good kick. And Widnes ease into a 6-point lead. 8 points to 2 in favour of the defending champions.
I think some of the Castleford forwards will be disappointed with the defence here of the backs. And here's where we see the support, intelligent support. O'Fire noticing that he couldn't push through on the left, coming back to the right, and then again alert to find support on the right even further. That's a great try.
Got a terrific view of the alertness in Martin O'Fire's eyes there, and he was caught by the tackle. Suddenly he seemed to have looked in 4 or 5 different directions at once and sniffed out the support. And another great break here by Mike O'Neill, and Widnes are clear with Kurt Sorensen this time, the supporting player. He's got plenty of pace around him. Martin O'Fire's up there, and that's the easiest try he'll score this season. 2 tries in as many minutes, this time set up by the big man O'Neill and Sorensen. Martin O'Fire, I don't know if he's just a little breathless, but that's his 30th try of another astonishing season. And a walk-in by his standards.
We spoke about some weak defence by the backs, but there's some terrible defence by the forwards, coming straight through the middle of the ruck. And again, good support. Larder had not a chance. Sorensen is showing just how big and burly he is, but even when he's out of petrol, there's that man. And I think Martin O'Fire's out of petrol after making 2 great long runs, but he had enough to get there. All that pressure that Castleford had locked up in them has all just completely evaporated. They just blew it out.
Why did Kurt pass here? He's got comfortably enough speed to move away from that winger, hasn't he?
He scored enough tries. Give him to Martin.
Well, that's 127 tries for Widnes. He's only been here 5 minutes. Astonishing man. Plenty of care and attention given to that, but it drifts wide of the right-hand post. 12 points to 2. Widnes lead. Tries from Andy Currier, now Martin O'Fire in as many minutes. We've had 26 minutes of the first half. And having survived a pretty rousing start by Castleford, Widnes' speed and class has shown through in the last few moments, and they now have a real grip of the game. It's a rash man who dismisses their title effort with 11 games still to go, particularly with their 2 matches against Wigan still to come on Rugby League Live in February and March. Dougie will be looking forward to those. You may recall they'd lost 3 in a row going into the Castleford fixture that we screened from Norton Park back in November, but they pulled themselves round then. Always at their most dangerous when people start to doubt them, Widnes. Here's Fred Lindhock again.
Right. The poor defensive effort of Castleford is reflected in the chart where Widnes, in fact, have made 6 clean butts to only 1 from Castleford. This is why possibly they're in the league.
Castleford needing to find those gaps and make some breaks now. With Keith England in possession. Widnes didn't hit the front in the championship race until the end of March last year, when Castleford themselves dropped out of the sky. And they firmly believe at Norton Park that Wigan are due a sticky patch. A lot of respect for what John Money's done there this season. Wigan are on a fantastic run, and Widnes are just hoping to get a little bit more pressure on them. (12-2) Widnes lead. And here's David Hugh. Good tackle by his opposite number, Gary French. Fire. Picked up well by Ayres. On goes Alan Tate. Support from John Devereux. Pass 1, pass 2. Oh, and the third just caught him. It was Hardy who made the important tackle. Devereux up to within a pace of the line. Phil McKenzie. Support from David Hugh. Support from Paul Hugh. And the brothers combine to score yet another try for Widnes. It's crisp and incisive stuff, and Castleford haven't got an answer to it. A family affair, created by David Hume and scored by Paul Hume.
The lead-up work again done here by the backs from a scrum, and a nice break down this right-hand side. McKenzie getting his arms free. Once they get in this mood, they're ruthless. That's good support, great support.
Good work by Devereux to carry them to within view of the line. There's David Hugh, who was very wide of McKenzie for a moment, but readjusted his position in order to receive the pass and then slip his brother in. Interesting half-back combination that Doug Lawton has employed again today. The Hume brothers were together at the pivot part of the team for a very good cup run that Widnes had last season, and Doug Lawton has entrusted them with that 6 and 7 shirts again today. Half an hour gone. Andy Currier with a chance, fairly simple chance to improve, which he's flopped. The Widnes are now 2 full scores in front, 16 points to 2. Currier has played his part. The back division looking very impressive at the moment. Doug Lawton's down on the touchline. Doug Castleford started the game quite well, but a little bit of class and speed has made all the difference in the last 5 minutes.
Keep it up though, because Cass can go the length of the field as well. But I've been pleased the way things have gone so far.
Yes, it's a much different Castleford side than I saw at St Helens last week. They're defending very well, but those 3 crucial breaks that you've made, they've all finished up with tries.
Yeah, they've gone well, and here we come again.
Kurt Sorensen trying to get free. Martin O'Fire snapping the ball up. Kick by Tate. Won't be too pleased with that. Right down Steve Larder's throat. submission. Saw David Hume and just fell at his feet. Chapman trying to get into the game. It's Kevin Ward again. Haven't seen him for a while. Ball was almost out of his grasp again there. Bill McKenzie just inquiring. Thought it might have gone forward. Sampson. Beardmore. Larder. Real opportunity, Steve Larder, the Castleford fullback. 18 tries this season. Only 4 players in the game have scored more so far. Here's one of them, Martin O'Fire. Alan Tate. And fires there in support again. Thought for a moment Tate wasn't going to need him. O'Neill. John Devereux. Good strong play by Tony Myler. Testimonial season. Widnes. Alan Tate. That's a good kick too, in behind Darren Price. Once they get on top, Widnes, Brian, they've got a real element of control, almost arrogance about them, haven't they?
Well, once they start to get that confidence about them and they find space like they're finding now, because Castleford just haven't kept up that intensity. They started off with all those gang tackles, that intimidation by their strength in their tackle. That's gone, and if you start to show Widnes that sort of space and without that sort of intimidation, man, they can do whatever they like.
They lead by 16 points to 2. And every time they see a chink of light in the Castleford defence, you feel as though they've got men capable of going through it. Crooks. Hardy. Seen plenty of the ball league, Crooks. Looks a little less happy than he did. And we spoke to him 10 minutes before the game. It's so frustrating. Once they cross the white line, there isn't much you can do. No matter how stirring and detailed an address you deliver prior to the game, they're out of your hands once they're on the pitch. Grimmer. Myler's kick. Oh, it's a beauty. Inch perfect. Such a resilient player, Tony Myler. He's had such terrible injury problems. I say refuses to wear the number 13 shirt that a loose forward should wear, not specifically because of that number, but because he's picked up 2 serious injuries each of the last 2 occasions that he's worn 13.
Wonder how that sits with our rugby league hierarchy, who've told all the clubs that they must wear the number that players are playing in as they're selected.
Well, I won't tell them if you won't.
I promise I won't. I mean, just on that point, I mean, I couldn't give a damn. I know who Tony Myler is, and I can read in the program that he's number 12. I reckon everyone else can.
Kevin Ward making himself known. He's lost the ball again. It's been a performance of the heart rather than the head, really, by Kevin Ward. He's played with great courage and great determination, but he's lost concentration at crucial times. He just can't keep coughing the ball up to Widnes. They've got too many players who know what to do with it. 4 minutes of the first half remaining. Widnes leading by 16 points to 2 and in possession. Paul Hume and Tony Myler trying to work some space for Mike O'Neill. Mackenzie. Joyner dropping on it. Steve Larder. Support was a bit half-hearted there for him. Lee Crooks. Keith England. Here's Kevin Ward again. Penalty given against Grimmer that time. And Lee Crooks, I think, will go for goal. Young Neil Batty, the Castleford substitute, bringing on the Sandcastle. Crooks, who was on a winning side against Widnes just 3 weeks ago with his former club Leeds. Impressive Leeds performance, that too, at Norton Park. So a chance to get Castleford back within 12 points. And he's done it. And that's quite a crucial deficit in rugby league. 2 scores, of course. Not enough to bring a smile just yet. Castleford a little punch drunk by that burst of Widnes scoring. Currier, O'Fire and Paul Hume with the 3 scores which give Widnes that advantage. 16-4. Last minute and a half of the first half. A long way to the Widnes line from there. Darren Price. Ian Braga. England tackled by Wright. French looking where he was going before he had it. Widnes have got the ball. And another score here in the last minute or so of the half really could kill the game off. Richie Ayres. Good, strong, underrated player. Praised him a little bit too early. Beardmore stole it from him. And here's Chris Chapman. Didn't change my opinion of Ayres as a player, but he'll be disappointed about that. French. England out wide. Now Ian Braga. Now a little bit of space from Darren Price. Oh, he's got past Darren Wright this time. Still 2 more back there. David Hume's on his backside. Play's been brought back anyway. That's disappointment for you. All that exertion, all that energy. And there's a scrum 15 yards inside the Castleford half of the field.
Castleford will be very disappointed there because that was a great chance for them to get back in the game. But I agree with Mr. Kershaw again. I think he was spot on.
Not sure he agreed.
Castleford showed a bit of spirit there because despite their disappointments, they came up with a great push in that scrum against the feed. Gives them a last-ditch chance here just before half-time.
Yeah, we're playing stoppage time though in the first half. Dean Sampson. Kevin Ward again. Need to get it away for a moment. Crooks. Good ball. Larder popping up again. River and Sorensen doing the necessary. John Joyner working the blind side. Widnes have got some defending to do here. Lee Crooks. 5 tackles though. Gary French, the little kick. Alan Tate, comfortable. Drop out from under the post. So Castleford will at least get the ball back.
Good set of 6. It shows they haven't given up altogether, Clive. I was a bit concerned that they might have given up the ghost. but they really showed some life there. Lee Crooks was the one. He's the one who's showing the spark.
Currier taking his time, having mindful of the fact that the clock is ticking round to the half-time orange. And Widnes have survived that little Castleford comeback in the closing minutes of the half. A couple of penalties from Lee Crooks, all that the home team have to show for their efforts. Whereas Widnes, with a dramatic burst of scoring, tries from Currier, O'Fire and Paul Hume, have established a 16-4 lead at half-time. Join us soon.
Welcome back. Widnes leading by 16 points to 4 here at Weldon Road at half-time. Tries from Andy Currier, Martin O'Fire and Paul Hume. We're live in the dressing room again. A happy dressing room, no doubt. Don't adjust your sets. If we left the volume up, Mary Whitehouse might be on to us. But Widnes know they can't afford any slips, even at this stage, if they're to stay in touch with Wigan at the top of the table. Well, time to join Brian Smith again. Brian, I'd imagine Doug Lawton will be a pretty happy man at this stage of the game.
Well, all that pressure that Castleford put on the Widnes team early on that was showing some dividends just got blown away with the power and pace that we all know that Widnes have got.
Well, there were 3 tries and a couple of near misses in that first half. Why don't you describe them to us?
Well, I thought early on, as I said, Castleford put a lot of defensive pressure on, but they also had a great chance to score here. Kevin Ward made a good break straight through Sorensen, and there's Beardmore, was very busy early, great support. But they just couldn't quite get there. Really needed that try to show something for all the pressure that they've had on. And then here we go. Widnes from a scrum. It's red light time when on scrums. There's Darren Wright. And look at the support that comes here. He knows there's support. And O'Fire shows a brain as well as feet to get himself into the clear. And then when it's all dead, to find another player. And that's just so easy. How many times have we seen Widnes blow a team apart with a try like that? And then we see that they can also come through the middle. A good little set piece, a nice work play between McKenzie and Ayres and O'Neill, I should say. And O'Neill finds, again, bags of support. Here he is, veteran Kurt Sorensen. And look at the knee lift. I reckon he could have made it perhaps, but why not? If you've got O'Fire's legs in your team, why not use them? And then this was just oh so easy. Look at Mackenzie's balance and footwork, and his arms are free. He's not tackled. He is tackled, but the ball's alive. And then the support's there, the Uga Beaver brothers.
The Rugby League controller, referees, Fred Lidnop, has been getting to grips with the computers to monitor that first half. Fred, what have you got for us?
Well, I think in a disciplined performance by both teams up to the break, you can see that the vital number of breaks, or busts as people like to call them nowadays, has created the lead for Widnes at half-time. You can see that there's 9 clean breaks, and Widnes have supported these breaks to create the tries, to Castleford's only 2. Okay. Both teams have tackled tremendously hard, virtually 115 tackles each. So defensively, they've both worked very hard, but the breaks have been vital.
Thanks very much, Fred. We'll hear more from Fred later. Let me remind you that Widnes are leading Castleford by 16 points to 4. We'll have the second half live after this break.
Welcome back to Weldon Road. Widnes leading Castleford by 16 points to 4 in this vital championship match. And Castleford to restart. Martin O'Fire, one of the Widnes try scorers, as he has been on each of his 4 visits now to Weldon Road. He really loves this particular little plot of Yorkshire. And already halfway to last season's astonishing total of 60 tries. Joe Grimmer Widnes having met with some resistance in the closing minutes of the first half of the match, will be keen to reassert themselves in that they did in that dramatic period midway through the first, when Andy Currier, Martin O'Fire and Paul Hume scored tries in a 5-minute period. Ian Braga. Don't forget, the player who receives the ball from a kick ahead like that is to be allowed 5 yards of grace by the pursuing defenders before they can tackle him. Otherwise, they'd be deemed to be offside. Widnes wouldn't pretend to be the most popular visitors to Eldon Road. They've won their last 6 matches against Castleford, averaging more than 30 points a time. And they had 2 key wins on this ground in Cup and League last season. But Ward's got Beardmore in here, and a good tackle by Alan Tate. 5 tackles. Joined in a French. The long looping ball looking for Braga, which he left, and which Price couldn't collect. 6th tackle desperation. Widnes, don't forget, without the services of Jonathan Davis today. There he is, looking less than comfortable. I think you'd be able to afford a better seat than that, wouldn't you? Derek Pike, one of the most experienced Widnes forwards, had an operation on his arm this week. He's going to be out for a while, but as I was saying a little earlier, Amosti Colota's on the way back. And Davis has a hamstring problem, which will be examined at the National Sports Rehabilitation Centre down at Lilleshall next week, in the hope that he'll be fit for the forthcoming Challenge Cup campaign and the 2 big championship crunch matches with Wigan. Takes long clearance, fumbled by Price, reclaimed by Wright, who's allowed to go on almost unopposed and get Martin O'Fire in for yet another try against Castleford. And that was tame defence. Opportunism by O'Fire, which you take for granted. But he'll score tries against Castleford all day long if they treat him with that kind of respect.
Castleford again did well defensively. They put some pressure on Tate, and this ball just got over the halfway line. They'd done their job, but young Price, I mean, the Price was all wrong. He not only knocked it on, but he then didn't go in and make the tackle on him. You just can't show them that sort of room. That's kid stuff.
Martin O'Fire showing suitable gratitude. 20 points to 4. O'Fire's second of the afternoon. Amazing thing about O'Fire is that he wasn't even a first 15 player really with Roslyn Park when Doug Lawton unearthed him. Goodness knows how everybody else missed him. Andy Currier looking to improve it. Wide of the mark. And Doug Lawton actually plucked O'Fire out of the second and third 15s of Roslyn Park Rugby Union. He was a better cricketer in many ways. He played for Essex Seconds. But his rare appearances for the senior Roslyn Park side alerted Lawton and his scouting network. And next thing, one of the stars of the world game emerged in Widnes colours. And Widnes colours flying proudly at Weldon Road this afternoon, leading by 20 points to 4. And they could really open up and give us an exhibition now. This could be well worth watching. You feel as though they've all but got the game won now and got themselves back into the winning ways that they had to find very quickly. Although that was a bit sloppy. That wasn't though, was it? That's not too shabby, is it, from Alan Tate? Bit of pressure on Kevin Ward now, hello.
This is really character time for Cass now. I agree, Clive. I think the game's probably pretty well gone. It'll take some sort of turnaround, but I don't think the result is what is important to Cass. I think what we should look for is see if we can find, I'm sure Darryl Vandervelde will, he'll be looking to see which player will play with some guts when the score's down like this, when everything's against you. And not just a one-off effort, but consistently throughout the next 35 minutes.
He actually passes a piece of paper around to each player at the end of the match and asks them to fill in the names of the players they felt gave their all for Cass on the day, and those that didn't, you'd actually have to fill your own name in at the top. It's a secret ballot, but if you don't get too many votes from your teammates, then really you deserve an earful from the coach. Well, they've got a penalty here. They need more than two. Samson going on. Sorensen penalised.
Wouldn't have been for a high tackle, would it?
No, no. I'll tell him. Here's Kevin Ward. Widnes a bit of defending to do. Castleford trying to stretch that defence, but there's no real purpose about their attack at the moment. All a little bit desperate. Here's Jeff Hardy, taken by his fellow countryman Phil McKenzie. French to Crooks. Samson was running off him, but Crooks held on. Widnes done a good job. You can always join in the defence from here. French. Well collected by Tate. Heard the hit from Hardy. Seven minutes of the second half gone. Widnes in possession, leading by 20 points to 4. Phil McKenzie, Joe Grimmer, milkman by profession. Richiers. Tate again. Good charge by Roy Sutherwood. He got an arm on that. Collected by the winger Chris Chapman. Elusive run, isn't it? Big test for Tate here. Well, he made contact with Chapman. Maybe just slowed him down sufficiently for the cover to arrive. Sutherwood. Larder. Inside to Braga. Straightening it up. Keith England. Difficult to stop. Joyner. Through the gap, is he? Ooh, he is, but without the ball. Ball kick dead. Drop out from under the post.
They're certainly showing plenty of character at the moment. They're throwing everything they've got at it. Execution maybe not so good, but lots of character.
34-year-old now, John Joyner. Coming up 18 years with Castleford next month. Very, very nearly adding to his try tally for them.
More dummies than my brand new baby, that one.
Larder. Kevin Ward. Oof. Is that a handoff? It's a swat. Samson. Beardmore. On to Braga. On to French. Got Hardy outside him and Chapman outside him. Great play there by Paul Hume. Smother the pass. Well, we talked about Castleford's character, but Widnes have really dug in this afternoon. They're playing for their coach and playing for their pride. Done some good defending here. Watch for number 7, Paul Hume, when the final pass is thrown, just how he manages to knock the ball down. There's Braga. Now watch as he covers across as Gary French tries to get in. In fact, it wasn't him, it was
Devereaux.
Devereaux. Joyner. Larder. But Hume volunteered there for about 4 successive tackles. He was at the point of action continuously. John Joyner, Widnes still defending. Still leading by 20 points to 4. French. Crooks. Good pass. Hardy. Now Chapman's in surely. Yes. Chris Chapman restores Castleford's interest in the match. And their siege of the Widnes line eventually pays off. And they're back within 2 scores again.
Eventually this sliding defence of Widnes is found out, but it took some lovely hands from Lee Crooks. And again, Jeff Hardy, the split-second timing, that time beat Devereaux's outstretched hand. A poor miss by Courier again. And
Great
Chapman did
centres
the
play by Hardy, wasn't it?
It was. Excellent play. It was good play all around that, Clive. Good crisp hands from the inside, and Hardy hit the ball hard and straight. He put Devereaux in that position that you don't want to be as a winger. In that piece of space just between the ball carrier and that bloke you know is going to score on the outside if you don't knock the ball down.
Beg your pardon? Lee Crooks, who invited him into your living room.
That's just about the story of the day, you know, for Cass. That kick was just so important for them. It was just, they just haven't quite done it. Things just haven't quite run for them, but they're going to give it a shot anyway, aren't they?
Certainly Crooks has played with a lot of determination. We were talking about Kurt Sorensen a moment or so ago. Let's look for him and keep an eye on him as he comes in to tackle here. Ooh, I say. Maybe that's why he was penalised.
I think that one went undetected up until now, Mr. Tilsley.
Well, tough in the trenches, but he shouldn't have got away with that. There's Sorensen in action again, a little bit more conventional that time. Great by Beardmore. Hello, we've got a match again. Kevin Ward needs some support. Well tackled by Alan Tay. John Joyner. Lee Crooks. A bit loose and lazy. Well picked up by Chapman.
Great call, Mr. Kershaw. That's how to play the advantage rule. Widnes were never onside, but he gave Castleford the chance to score the try. When they didn't come up with it because of Widnes being offside, then give the penalty. Top marks, Mr. Kershaw.
There's one reputation that's been revived this afternoon, I think. Nice try by Beardmore. Going on from acting halfback. Absolutely essential to Castleford hopes that they get something from this, and they might just. Hardy again, he's in. Missed by Devereaux, and Jeff Hardy gets a second swift try for Castleford, and now there are just 8 points in it, and it is a different game. Well, Darryl Van der Velde hasn't actually smiled yet. There's a bit more excitement around him.
There's one lad who'll smile, Jeffrey Hardy. Castleford finally find the precision that they've been lacking. Beautiful hands by Larder, and Hardy finds that space with the Widnes defence sliding out. As you watch from behind the post, you see how Widnes play this sliding out. Aha! Step back in. There's a hole, son.
Yes, get in my son. Just as I planned it. Lee Crooks. That's tasty too. 14 points to Castleford, 20 to Widnes. And was it me or you, Brian, who said the game was just about won?
I'll take the rap for it if you like. I'll tell you what, we won't be turning off our sets now, will we?
Well, we've had 15 minutes of this second half. And Widnes who turned round at 16-4 and who actually moved further ahead with that early try from O'Fire. that's a costly error by Kevin Ward. Knocking the ball on behind his own line. Drop out from under the post, surrendering possession to Widnes.
Off goes your head and on goes a pumpkin. Why on earth didn't he just catch the ball? He tried to chest it down.
Alan Tate. And now it's Widnes' endurance and character that's tested, and his nerves that are tested. Held down surely there. Hume. O'Neill. Alan Tate. O'Fire just knocked down in the nick of time by Darren Price. Widnes still have it though. O'Fire was hat-trick hunting there. Joe Grimmer. Terrific contest now. David Hume. Taken on by Tony Myler. O'Neill, great pass. O'Fire, hat-trick. Oh, doesn't he love it? Putting a smile on the face of rugby league with his irresistible finishing ability. And just when Widnes needed a score to reassert them in the match, guess who comes up with it?
Clive, I take nothing away from the man. 3 tries is a great thing, but have a look at the hands here and the space that Tony Myler finds. This is lovely. Show the ball, and when it's all dead, no, it's not. Over the top, and a lovely ball again, Mike O'Neill. See, you've got to get, it doesn't matter how fast you can run. It doesn't matter how many, you just can't score the tries unless you get that sort of service. And I know Martin, every time I've heard him speak, he always pays credit to these players who give him this sort of service, and so he should. This is a beautiful ball by Myler. And a basketballer would be proud of that.
And Mike O'Neill too.
Yeah,
out
lovely.
of the tackle. Easy, Martin. Curry's kept dragged wide. 24 points to 14 to Widnes. Darragh van der Veld on the touchline. The Castleford coach, you must have felt as if you'd pulled the game round there.
We're coming back, Clive, but obviously the mistake from the kickoff. We're just making far too many errors, Clive, and against these times, they know how to punish you, and unfortunately they did it.
Play with a bit of spirit either side of half-time, though.
Yes, mate, disappointing. We're not putting the ball over the line. We've had probably 3 or 4 opportunities in the first half, but didn't put the ball over the line. We're making breaks and not finishing them off. We've done it just after half-time too, but there's another 20 minutes to go, mate, so the game's not over yet.
Yes, more than a quarter of this match still remaining. Widnes leading by 24 points to 14 and in possession. Mackenzie to Grimmer. Tate. Chapman. Left Widnes cover there. Is that a good chase?
My word, was it ever.
And you're hemmed in again. Lee Crooks. Beautifully taken by Alan Tate. He's been such a success in that number 1 shirt. He played in the centre at Bradford on Wednesday when Widnes were beaten, but he much prefers the fullback position, even though he made his name as a rugby union international with Scotland in the centre. Into the final quarter of the match. 10 points in it. Live rugby league from Weldon Road, Castleford. Widnes leading the home side by 24 points to 14, by 5 tries to 2, interestingly, too. Myler into the corner. Had a much better game today, Tony Myler. Now it's run dead. But considering he was really very, very doubtful for this match, Myler has been outstanding today. Crooks. Carry out. That was unnecessary. Oh, very petulant. Oh, very costly. Castleford penalty. John Joyner, who got a face full. Now, judge for yourself. Held him down a bit, maybe. But you don't take the law into your own hands. Kevin Ward. Good work by Ayres and Mackenzie. French. Crooks going on. Gary French again. Joyner. Hardy. Knocked down by O'Fire, who was held back there by Jeff Hardy. Here's Dean Sampson. O'Fire sticking to his man. Help inevitably from Mackenzie. 6 more tackles. Joyner to England. Strong arm stuff from Richie Ayres. Joyner long. Crooks. Long again. Lada in the line. French. Kevin Ward this time.
Great tackle by Ayres to trap the ball there.
John Joyner. Knocked down, scooped up well by Lee Crooks. 5 tackles though. Last tackle. Joyner once more. Kick. Charged down, I think, by Ayres. Recovered, was it? It's a handover.
See, those number 13s must have something in them. I know a lot of people are a little bit sick of the number 13 from Wigan who tries to tell the referee what to do. And the number 13 here had no success either. I think Mr. Kershaw was spot on.
Maybe it's my imagination. There seems to be a little bit more talking to referees on the field at the moment, a little more than is necessary in the game. It's a difficult enough job. Tate. Here's Chapman.
It's another outstanding chase on a great kick.
Here's Southernwood. In Braga. A fire across there, holding on to Price. Braga. Marlow doing the trench work again. Joyner. Southernwood. Tackled high up by Joe Grimmer. French. Sorensen arrived a wee bit late. Devereux unable to take it. And Widnes will make a substitution and bring on David Smith for Joe Grimmer. In the meantime, we can take a check on the contribution that Martin O'Fire, Widnes' hat-trick man, has made to the game with Fred Lindon.
Right. Looking in, right, tackles, he's made 5, he's made 9 strong drives, he's made 4 clean breaks, he's only missed 1 tackle and dropped the ball twice, so to score 3 tries is not a bad performance.
Home. Got support from Lauder. He's got his winger if he needs him. He doesn't. Steve Lauder's in. And Castleford stage another comeback. 19th try of the season for this prolific Australian fullback. And when will Castleford get the message that Widnes have finished them off?
Here we see another outstanding try from a scrum. A beautifully worked play with Gary French doing the run around with Jeff Harding. Perhaps it's just a suspicion of a shepherd, as we call it, or an obstruction, but a lovely pass from French. Perfect timing, and Larder has got some pace. Great chase by Devereaux from the far wing. You can see from head on here we might get it. You make up your mind about the obstruction.
Scored more tries in a season than any other Castleford fullback in the history of the club now, Steve Larder, 19. And in fact, only Martin O'Fire, Mark Preston and Andy Goodaway have scored more in the game so far this season. He's made quite an impact. And Lee Crook's hoping to get Castleford back within 4. Not far away, not quite close enough. 24-18. 1 score in it again. And we've still got some 13 minutes to play. And Widnes have won this game twice over already, and still Castleford are in it. They just keep coming back. Amazing, really. We've questioned their character on more than one occasion this afternoon, Brian, and yet here they are back in the game again, making it very tough for Widnes. Chapman. There's the Widnes substitute, David Smith. Teenage, local lad. And there's the man who's gone off, Joe Grimmer. As like he's done his stint. Here they come again with Beardmore. Good tackle by Phil McKenzie.
Oh, how vital was that one?
Joyner. French. Castleford's capabilities underlined by the fact that they were actually the last team to beat Wigan back in October. They've lost more than they've won since then. They're on the erratic side of championship material. When you catch them on their day, they're one of the best sides around. They certainly, man for man, would stand comparison with most. Kurt Sorensen, whose prop forward partner Joe Grimmer has taken a blow to the head, and Widnes don't want to risk any further punishment. We're over here. Oh, he's all right. Myler. Nice idea from David Hume. Fortunately, it was spotted by 3 opponents. 6th tackle. Currier. Tate had to kick very quickly then. Chris Chapman playing today because St John Ellis, the regular Castleford left winger, is suspended, having been sent off in the Cup at St Helens last week. Castleford trying to get it wide again with Crooks. Look forward to me. Riley's got through the tackle. 2 to beat. Good covering by Darren Wright. Good defender. John Joyner. Dean Sampson. Is he in? Is he in? No. Jerry Kershaw was closer than anybody bar Sampson himself. That was very, very close decision. But Jerry Kershaw was right on top of it. Now, did he get it in or not? Great decision.
Spot on again.
Pleased for Jerry Kershaw. He's a very, very earnest official. He's a school teacher by profession. He takes his job more seriously than anybody in the game. And I thought that some of the criticism that was levelled him after the Regal Trophy final was maybe levelled in the wrong direction. He took his touch judge's advice a couple of times, and the game never quite got out of hand. But he's been in control today. And he got this bang on.
I'm with you, Clive. I think some of the criticism perhaps could have been levelled at some of the tactics in last week's game as well. And Jerry Kershaw's handled this game very well. It's been tough because he's had some awkward decisions to make. But look where he was. You're right, he's spot on again.
And Castleford are on again too, with Steve Larder. Jeff Hardy. Well held, Martin O'Fire. John Joyner.
Suddenly with his sleeves rolled up, John Joyner ready to get into the action.
Inside it the last 9 minutes. 24-18, Widnes lead. Castleford in possession. Kevin Ward, well taken by Smith. England, well taken by O'Neill. They've kept it alive though. French. Terrific atmosphere inside Weldon Road now. Lee Crooks. Great ball on fire, not only prevented a try, he very nearly had one himself. His frustration because he was home and dry if he'd held on to that.
And I think that's why we just saw why people say love him or hate him. We just saw the ugly side there. You can do without that bit, Martin.
Ball. Southernwood. Hardy. Good tackle. Low down. Port one by Alan Tate. England again. Widnes defending their championship, defending their line. They've got to win this match. Lee Crooks. Ian Bragger. Good stuff by Darren Wright that time. Lee Crooks, he's strong. And Castleford are a conversion away from pulling level. Been an inspired performance by Crooks today. They've loved it. And Crooks has got them right back within distance of maybe even winning this match.
There's nothing in this game that Lee Crooks can't do. And he shows himself to be very strong but smart. He tries to stay low, and in fact he gets underneath and spins out of the tackle. There's some brain as well as brawn involved in this.
And technique too.
That's it. He's used the right technique. Look at the legs pump and the twist of the body. You can hold on to me all you like, but I'm going to put that ball down.
Yeah, that was no accident. That was a forward who knew exactly what he was doing. Sometimes when I hear American football being explained, I think they credit players with more technique than they're actually showing, but there's a lot more to it than brawn. And that was a real piece of skill by Crooks. Now can he level it? No. Widnes are hanging on. 24-22, 6 minutes left to play, and these could be the most important 6 minutes of Widnes' title defence, certainly to date.
Darrell Vandervelde spoke about the errors by Cass, but it's been 2 errors by the Widnes players that have let Castleford back into the game in the last 10 minutes. We saw Devereaux knock on from really an unforced error from a kick that went straight to him, and then Alan Tate kicked out on the full. They really need a good set of 6 here.
They really do have to hold on. They've got those 2 mammoth games coming up with Wigan in February and March, both of which you'll see on Rugby League Live. The 2 title favourites still to meet in the Championship this year. The Widnes has simply lost too much ground with those defeats against Leeds and Bradford recently, and they can't afford to go down to another Yorkshire team. 5 minutes left to play. Widnes have got both substitutes on now. Paul Moriarty is out there too, former Welsh Rugby Union international. And they need all the strength and conviction that they can find in these last 5 minutes. 5 good tackles have hemmed Castleford in here. They're going to kick possession back. Lada's attempt charged down. Picked up by Dean Sampson.
They deserve
And
better
over.
than that.
Is it?
They did. No, it's not. There was a charge down and 6 more to go. I thought Widnes deserved a little more than that. They defended very well, but they're perhaps a little unlucky with the bounce there that went straight to Cass.
Ball. Got it free to Hardy. Here's Chapman. Four minutes remaining. Widnes leading by just 2 points. Castleford in possession. Crooks. Joyner ran straight into him. And then found Ayres and Sorensen behind him. 5 tackles again. Crooks kicking this time. John Devereux. Well held. Now he's got to hold on to the ball. Nothing too fancy. It's not in Widnes' nature to play it conservatively. But if they can play 3 minutes of rugby football without an error, they will win this match and be back in the championship race. It's that simple. Big David Smith. Sorensen.
Alternatively, Castleford have got to force the error here. They're trying hard with some good defence. Oh, this is the wrong play. The wrong play.
Yes. Hang on tight. 5 tackles. Now, a good kick needed from Tate. Charged down well, though, by England. Ward a little bit more determined. Got it back from Tate. And here's the big examination now for Doug Lawton's men. Lee Crooks again. Price popping up in midfield. Jeff Hardy. Well done, Kurt Sorensen. Dean Sampson. Tackled well, eventually flowed down by Paul Hume. Castleford inside of the line again, inside the 25. Lee Crooks. Held up by Myler, who's done some terrific work. Kevin Beardmore has won the official Man of the Match award. 5 tackles, Beardmore to Joyner. They've got to take a risk here. Hardy, held on to by Chapman. He's going to have to kick it on the 6th tackle. Important that Tate takes it, he does. There's Kevin Beardmore, the Castleford hooker. Returned today to pick up the award. As a publican, he's been very busy over the Christmas period. He was telling me that his form had dropped off as a result. I'm not sure that's an excuse that Darryl van der Velt's likely to accept. Terry McAllister, the young 17-year-old centre. Here's the Castleford substitute. Widnes have got just over a minute now, leading by 24 points to 22. They have the ball, and they've got to keep on a hold on it. Now, this is the way to finish it off. Richie Ayres, John Devereux. It's been a remarkable game. Those 3 tries by Currier, O'Fire and Paul Hume appeared to have killed Widnes off midway through the half. That's an error by Darren Wright that Widnes could have done without. They led 16-4 at half-time. It went to 20 points to 4 when O'Fire accepted a gift soon after the break. But Castleford have scored 4 of the last 5 tries in the match. And they've turned it almost around.
Now, that is the way to play with a minute to go when you've got 2 points, a 2-point lead. Not to shovel the ball at 100 miles an hour like they just did out here with a long, loopy pass. I mean, that is loopy play.
Yeah, I think it's fighting instincts, isn't it? Mackenzie. Well, that's a bit special, isn't it? O'Fire's there. O'Fire's in. 4 tries. Match won. And that's the measure of the man. And that's what this victory means to Widnes. They've won it now, all right. And Martin O'Fire, for all the hard and earnest work that's been done all around, it's his finishing that's finished off Castleford.
Look at those magic feet of Mackenzie. He's quick, very quick to realise the marker plays a bit slack, the defence is a little bit loose in the middle, he's gone, and there's the icing. And what about the icing? He's just off that right foot, Mackenzie, and when it's dead, no, it's not dead. A pass will keep this alive. I mean, that's some icing, that. 4 tries.
That's his 11th try against Castleford. It's only his 3rd season in the game. Yeah, that's it. That's dead. That'll do. 1 minute. Not exactly the calmest man in the ground, but he's feeling a bit better now. Andy Carrier makes it 30 points to 22. It'll look pretty comfortable in the newspapers tomorrow. You'll know better.
Absolutely blistering pace for a number 9. And again, it's just the pass and the awareness and how to run into space. They've got it, Widnes. They got it like no one else.
Stoppage time. And Widnes are home. They've ended their losing run. Doug Lawton gave them a target before the match. You've got to win every remaining match if you're to overhaul Wigan. And today in West Yorkshire, they fought off 2 Castleford comebacks to make a start on the final push to a championship hat-trick. We'll be back after the break.
Welcome back. Widnes have beaten Castleford by 30 points to 22 in a really cracking match here at Weldon Road. Let's straight away take a check on how that affects the top of the table. Widnes have closed the gap to just 4 points now behind Wigan. They've played a game more, but Widnes play Wigan in 2 weeks' time. At the bottom, Castleford remain in 9th place. No real relegation threat. If they perform like they did today, they'll certainly pick up a lot more points. Well, 7 tries in that second half. Here's Brian Smith to take you through the pick of them.
We really saw a spirited fight back by Castleford. They showed some great stuff, and none better than this try from the scrum. Some lovely hands. We said a suspicion of perhaps of a Shepparton obstruction there when Gary French went round the back. But a precise pass, and Larder shows some speed. Devereaux had made the error and tried to cover up for it that led to that scrum, but Larder shut the gate on him. Then we saw Lee Crooks using his massive frame and his massive brain. Have a look at that. He pushed in hard, pumped his legs, but twisted his body and was determined to get the ball down. Crooks had a great game today, but in the end, they had the last say, as they often do. Mackenzie, very alert at acting half, a little quiet perhaps today, but when it mattered, he hit the accelerator, and there was a fire, and that was 4.
He's asleep.
Thanks very much, Brian. Well, time right away to go down to the Widnes dressing room and join Clive Tilsley. Well, we'll see if we can join those happy faces a little later on. But before we hear from them, there's a full programme of Rugby League tomorrow. Here's Clive with the preview.
Yeah. Wembley's still on their minds. 24-8 winners last Sunday. But Leeds still have the better title chance. It's their 5th meeting of the season. Score so far, Leeds 1, Bradford 3. A nice easy one for Brian Smith's Hull tomorrow. It's nearly 3 months since anybody's beaten Wigan. Ellery Hanley's been out of action for most of that time. He's not out of action anymore. Hull have won their last 3 games at the Boulevard, though. New St Helens coach Mike McLennan takes over in earnest this weekend. Salford desperate for points. Saints scored 40 against them back in November. goal support. Well taken by Forber. Alan Hunt. Forber still. Holding. Cooper. They've done it again. Terrific stuff. Bernard Dwyer finishing it off. Another big defeat could finish off Salford. They've got to start winning soon. Warrington in 5th, visit Wakefield in 4th, visit Wakefield in form.
If they can play this one quickly, there might still be a chance of a 5th try. Lulai wants to get involved. Ray Price does too, and the ball is out on that far side. Andy Mason goes for the corner. Andy Mason makes it in the corner. Wakefield have their 5th try.
Two of the championship outsiders meeting at Bellevue tomorrow. There's a big game at Hilton Park tomorrow. Lee looking to put some daylight between themselves and Sheffield. The Eagles are dropping out of the sky without a home, without a league win in 2 months. Lee's home form is improving. They'll be eyeing the top 8 if they win again tomorrow. 3:30 kickoff at Hilton Park. Two of the bottom 3 in action up at Craven Park. Barrow gone, Featherstone going. Who's coming up? Well, Oldham have an outstanding chance after their midweek win at Hull KR. Tony Barrow's men at Chorley tomorrow. 2:15 kickoff up at Carlisle. Leaders Rochdale entertain Whitehaven. Swinton still very much in the hunt, take on Nottingham. Home matches for Runcorn Highfield, Trafford Borough and Workington Town too.
Well, now I think we can join the happy faces in the Widnes dressing room with Clive Tilsley.
Doug, that scoreline looked pretty comfortable in the morning papers, wasn't it?
I suppose it will, Clive, but it wasn't comfortable, as anybody watching will have seen. I didn't think we had the game won early on, but we did tire a bit in the second half, probably due to the game we had midweek.
It's about time this fella's got a try, isn't it?
No, he scores enough, don't worry. He was due in for a few, yeah.
It's been a barren patch by your standards, Martin. I think you've gone 2 without.
Yeah, I think the longest I've gone without was 3, so I woke up this morning and got the old prayer mat out, and hopefully, things came pretty well today.
They were fairly straightforward tries by your standards.
Yeah, but, I just love to score, love to, get the ball over the whitewash.
Now, you set a very, very high target for these players for the remainder of the season, win every match. Is that possible?
Everything's possible. We did. We won 14 on the run before this lot started, so that's what we need to do.
You've got those 2 big games against Wigan to come on Rugby League Live, Martin. Can you get the hat-trick?
Well, I hope so. Obviously, it's going to be a lot harder for us. It gets harder each year. The second year was quite hard, and it's really hard this year, but we've got a good squad. The squad is stronger this year. Everyone's fighting for places. We've got big John Devereux busting them on the right wing there. So, I feel that we're in good stead, and if we have turned the corner today, then I think, Wigan better watch out.
Great result. Well done, lads.
Thanks, Clive. Well, Widnes have beaten Castleford by 30 points to 22. Goodbye.